Film Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone can be grouped into two different genres, as adventure and family film, under the umbrella of fantasy genre. Harry Potter indeed meets the requirements of the fantasy genre films, which have to involve impossible situations, settings, meanwhile cooperating with science fiction and historical dramas. The message within the fantasy genre movies is always present and reflects the current events as well as social themes. The messages and themes within the fantasy films are portrayed in a variety of ways through cinematography and mise-en-scène to reach those goals. Film Harry Potter is based on the magical theme through the usage of mise-en-scène, which defines the rules of reality. The scene starts in Privet Drive at the British-style house with the Harris family, Vernon, Petunia, and Dudley Dursley, which highlight the sense of realism and everyday life being lived in a short period of time due to the genre. Harris family plays a role of abusive and cruel parenthood towards the main character. Together with their well-juxtaposed clothes, Harry is poorly kept, which highlights the divide between the characters. Within the scene of the letters, coming invites us into the fantasy genre, closing the world of muggles and entering the wizard one. The mise-en-scène changes along with the setting, as shown through the transition from Muggle London to Diagon Alley, showing off the Muggle world as boring with simple costuming and greyish lighting. The excitement and tension are revealed through the introduction to the wizards' clothes and large buildings, where the world of wizards possesses more tense quality than Muggles do. Even though the world of wizards shone as bright and wonderful, the mood of the scene shifts suddenly to dark one, which is shown through the flashback of the deaths of Harry's parents. Accompanied together with voice-over narration, dark lighting creates uneasiness within the atmosphere, along with slow motion, scary imagery, and shadows. During the trip to Hogwarts, main character gets introduced himself to his future friends Hermione and Ron. Both kids appear to be two-dimensional in the beginning, where Ron is a simple, calm character and Hermione is a very demanding one. The atmosphere of mystery of Hogwarts is supported through its appearance, where the castle is located in moonlight with the windows shining from the incoming light. Even though outdoors the castle is portrayed as the cold one, indoors it represents warmth through the orangish lighting and outstanding architecture in seek of representing comfortability and hospitality. The characteristics of the main characters of their new site as wizards is opposed to their old one as muggles. The contrast between different approaches towards acting supports the role of fantasy genre, as could be seen through the trio of kids playing naturalistic approach against stylized acting of Dumbledore, Malfoy, and Snape, where those have exaggerated voices and movements with unrealistic intentions and reactions.
Профессор Дамблдор хотел бы сказать вам несколько слов.
Я хочу обратить ваше внимание на несколько обязательных условий.
Blocking, meanwhile, shows its significance through the dynamic rhythm at Hogwarts. Representing tension and physically dynamic blocking appears between Malfoy and Harry, while within Harry and his friends the blocking shows off trustworthiness and comfortability. The contrast between Malfoy's half-shadow face and Harry's covered with gold emphasizes blocking style. Meanwhile, the usage of metaphorical props such as broomsticks is transformed into the magician's objects, which the audience can recognize. The usage of long takes and tracking shots is practiced in order to build suspense and foreshadowing. One of the scenes includes long-time Professor Snape looking at Harry. During the long take, Harry looks at Professor Snape, who is witnessed looking at him for a while, where afterwards Harry's reaction follows with him holding the scar on his forehead. This scene builds up tension between Harry and Snape, showing off Snape as the bad and trustworthless character, only through a long take and a shot of his reaction, nor words. Another successful tracking shot scene includes Harry being selected by the Hatted in the group, where camera goes 360 degrees while he repeats his refusal to be a Slytherin. The main reason towards the usage of the tool is to let the audience feel if they were Harry as being at your nerves, like this process takes forever. The rotation of the camera itself also foreshadows Harry's power in the present and future. The mood shifts into dangerous one as Voldemort appears, changing the mise-en-scène. The lighting is darker, more shadowy, and the frequency of white light instead of warm colors is increased. And so the drama is added to the moment he gets conquered by Voldemort and gets surrounded by fire, where the main character is shown as he is a hero. Talking about one of the techniques which support fantasy genre is usage of dungeon places with old pillars and stone-like stairs, which indicate on the natural environment of fantasy. Within the climax of the narrative, the environment fulfills the atmosphere of the story, where the fire provides with a tense mood having occupied the main protagonist. The viewer experiences the same feelings Harry does, where he's being trapped by flames. Through the mood of horror which the setting serves with, we can see how much the characters are willing to accomplish their goal. At the same time, talking about the most exciting scene, the antagonist gives us the impression as if he's in control of what is happening. Meanwhile, Harry's position of being trapped gives us the impression as if he is under the control of his enemy and tries to leave the place, which is evident through his body language. The role of mirror within the climax is also crucial, as it shows the significance of the prop to the scene as a whole. Another significant point of mise-en-scène within Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone, which helps to boost the atmosphere and mood, is lighting. Within the rising action where Harry draws candles on a birthday cake in the dirt at midnight, not only represents social issues, therefore touching concepts of realism, but also utilizes low-key lighting, which is used in the sequence of shoots by the director, where natural lighting appears. And so we can see what is inside the room with the help of natural lighting, which is shown as if coming from outdoors, the shack, by the way of moonlight. As it's dark outdoors, it's crucial for the director to show that it's dark outside, as well as portraying the storm raging with lighting flashes. Talking about the effects, low-key lighting looks darker comparing to the high-key one, by an application of deep shadows with the contrast between the brightest and darkest parts of the scene, which are fulfilled in a shadow. And so this technique allows the director to show off darkness outside along with the storm raging, while keeping indoors the shack peaceful, and so therefore showing off Harry's anxious feelings comparable to storm rage, as the injustice from his aunt was followed again towards him, as well as being treated very bad. For each mood and atmosphere, there are a variety of lighting sources types being applied. However, within this scene, low-key and natural lighting are being used to locate the mood of danger, intrigue, and some drama. The lighting within the Quidditch match scene is shot as if from the front, and so three-point lighting is being used within this scene. Lights are located in a way to allow the bright key light provide enough light in sake of showing off the light as it comes from the entryway towards the stadium. This technique provides with the feeling that the further away you pass, the greater shadow and less amount of light you will need to light up the location. At the same time, the shadows in the front are being filled in, however are not eliminated, with the help of a slightly dimmer light, which helps to create the feeling as if the light comes from the entrance. The mood and atmosphere would have been completely different, as well as the effect upon the audience, if other types of lighting had been used. The effect being created within this scene shows off how the three-point lighting system works, by using all three light sources. In case of lack of light or greater amount of it, some scenes could have been spoiled. For example, using the similar effect, it would not be possible to point out details that occurred in the scene, which then would be the key elements for further scenes. And so we would not know that Harry was drawing candles on his birthday cake in the dirt to celebrate his 11th birthday.